Because then, I mean, it did get, it got to this point, and I think reading it, so this is my thing. I wasn't into this book at all. I think the kids would be much better if this was like a novel just dealing with what it was. But I also think, too, that we have to start to be very careful, because if we are suspending, if kids are getting in trouble for calling names and using vulgar terms towards women, then I don't understand how we can allow these types of books, these with graphic pictures, derogatory towards women, making these statements. How can we continue to expect different things in school when they're reading these in a book, and the language that comes out of this is what it is? Do you know what I'm saying here?
I get it, but the reality is that's real life, and that stuff happens even here, not even, beyond.
I understand that.
Iran.
But if it's real life and they're using these terms, if they're going to call people sluts and whores and all this stuff, then we cannot expect them not to use. If we're bringing these books into the classroom, we're essentially, as a board, saying it's okay. This type of
language is okay. I would say that that's where you have a discussion about why they're doing that and why they're saying that and what that means here and why we don't have those conversations. You can have that discussion, but you can say, well, we've brought this book in, and so in this book, they're calling the women sluts and whores, and people are pissing on people in here. There's graphic pictures of that. And so are we saying that this is acceptable behavior to put into our classroom? And then when they act out, we've had a problem of what we were talking about, people using certain terms. And we know that our middle school kids are listening to 90s gangster rap. And there's certain words that are in that rap that are now being used on the playground. And so these kids are being punished for that. So we need to educate them, because that's what's happening in the world. It's happening on the radio. It's happening in conversations. That book is not the only place that they're going to hear the term slut or whore. That. So we need to have those conversations so they don't.
But they're not listening to the radio in the classroom, because we don't allow that type of language in the classroom. So you're saying it's okay to allow this type of book with this type of language in the classroom.